You know, sometimes the biggest revolutions start with just a whisper. A quiet announcement from Samsung about a battery breakthrough, it went almost unnoticed. But hidden deep inside the technical jargon was one tiny detail that is about to set off an economic bomb in a massive global market. So let's dig into how this one innovation could trigger a financial earthquake. And this is the core of it, right here. To finally solve the terrifying problem of battery fires, Samsung has engineered a game-changing solid-state battery. The secret sauce? It's silver. But in solving one huge problem, they've accidentally created an even bigger one for the world's entire silver supply. To really get your head around the scale of this disruption, we first have to understand this fundamental shift in how silver is even used. I mean, this is a completely new role for the metal. It's a whole new ballgame. Think about it like this. For decades, silver was just industrial spice. A tiny pinch, maybe 15 to 50 grams, was sprinkled into a car for things like window defrosters and electrical contacts. If the price of silver doubled, automakers barely even noticed. It was a rounding error. But now, it's not the spice anymore. It is a main ingredient, a core structural requirement. We're talking about going from a few grams to potentially a full kilogram per car. Suddenly, the price of silver isn't a rounding error. It's a critical part of the cost of the entire vehicle. So the logical question is, well, why don't they just engineer their way out of it? Just use less silver? The short answer is they can't. The silver is what stops these nasty microscopic needles called dendrites from growing, and those dendrites are what cause batteries to short circuit and burst into flames. If you try to skimp on the silver, the fires come back. The laws of chemistry are stubborn, you can't just bargain with them. This means the demand is totally inelastic. It's non-negotiable. And this is where the story shifts from a really cool piece of engineering into a potential global crisis. Because when you start to crunch the numbers, they're staggering. Just look at this. The entire world, all the mines combined, digs up about 830 million ounces of silver a year. And that number has been pretty much flat for a while now. Now look at the demand from this one new battery technology. It could gobble up 300 million of those ounces. That is over a third, around 35% of the planet's entire annual supply, just for car batteries. And here's the real kicker. This new demand isn't hitting a nice, balanced market with plenty of supply to spare. No way. The silver market is already in a deep structural hole, to the tune of over 1 billion ounces. That's from all the existing demand from solar panels, from electronics, from investors. This new wave of demand from EVs isn't just a problem. It's like pouring gasoline on an absolute inferno. Now, the first thing people always say is, well, hold on, why can't we just recycle more silver? And it makes perfect sense, right? It seems like such an obvious solution. But when you look at the hard reality of silver, you realize it's basically a false hope. We're fantastic at recycling gold. We get almost 90% of it back. Silver, it's not even close. We recover less than 20% of it. And the reason why is a simple word: dispersion. Silver isn't concentrated in big chunks like jewelry. It's spread out in microscopic layers across billions and billions of discarded gadgets. A tiny film in your phone, a little bit in your TV. It actually costs more to extract that silver than the metal is worth. So it just goes into a landfill and is lost forever. And even the silver that's going into these brand new batteries, it's not going to help. Think about it. A car battery lasts for about 15 years. So any silver that goes into an EV today is effectively locked away, sequestered from the market until what, the 2040s? It provides zero relief for the shortage that's staring us right in the face. Okay, so if recycling is a dead end, what about the other big argument? Why don't the miners just mine more? Again, sounds logical, but the problem is we have slammed headfirst into a geological wall. Getting silver out of the earth has become incredibly difficult. Back in 2005, for every ton of rock you processed, you might get a respectable 15 ounces of silver. Today, that number has plummeted to around 4 ounces per ton. That means we have to move and crush and process nearly 4 times the amount of rock, using 4 times the energy just to get the same amount of silver we used to. The easy stuff? It's gone. And even if, by some miracle, a massive, rich silver deposit was discovered tomorrow, it wouldn't make a difference. From the moment you find it, you're looking at a 10 to 15-year timeline to get a mine up and running. You've got permits, development, construction. The auto industry needs this silver now, not in 2039. So you put it all together. Demand is set to explode. Recycling is no help. Mining can't respond in time. And all of this forces us to look at a final, and frankly unavoidable, conclusion about what silver's new role in the world is going to be. Silver is on a path to becoming what some analysts call unobtainium. It's a term for a material that becomes so absolutely vital for strategic industries. We're talking transportation, defense, energy, that governments have no choice but to step in. They start to control the supply, to hoard it for national priorities, and that effectively pulls it right off the public market. This creates the ultimate paradox. All around the world, governments are writing laws, creating mandates, forcing a transition to electric vehicles. But the very battery tech that makes this transition possible now relies on a resource that the planet literally cannot supply in the quantities needed. This puts politicians on a direct collision course with the laws of geology and chemistry. They're going to have to choose. Either the policy fails or they intervene in the market in a huge way. This whole situation just shows how a single innovation can create these massive, unforeseen shockwaves across the entire global economy. We understand the stakes now, but the question remains, how exactly are these world-changing batteries put together? Next topic, the physics and engineering of solid electrolytes.